Hi guys, welcome back to B's Speed Shop. So I know it's been a few weeks since I've posted anything. I've had a few other issues that I've had to sort out in the meantime, but I've pretty much finished my panel I was making to fix this back edge along the floor. So I'm going to start welding it in today. So what I'm going to do for welding in my panel is I'm going to get these strengthening channels lined up. I'm just going to put a tack in the corner of each of those so I know they're all lined up. And then once it's tacked in along that edge, I can use my self-tapping screws to pull that edge tight against this edge, and I can put a couple of tacks in along there, and then I'll do the same along this back edge, just a couple of self-tapping screws and just put a couple of tacks in so it's held in place. And then what I'll do is I'll just start working around it and get it all welded in. So my little panel I've been making, I've got it pretty much tacked in all the way around now, apart from down this back edge, because there's a bit of a gap that I want to close up before I weld that. So now all I've got to do is just come back in between these spot welds, add some more, and slowly build it up until it's all welded in. There's a little bit of a gap along this bottom edge which I've got to fill. So I'm going to see if I can just cut off a piece of wire and weld it in there, so there's almost like two pieces of wire going in there as I weld it. So hopefully that will just help close up that gap, and there's a little bit here which a little bit of a dent I need to hammer out. So I've welded most of the way along this edge. I've still got the bottom edge and the spot welds to do, and I've started to do the inside edge along here as well. And I've just started to grind the tops of the welds back so I can see where some of the gaps are, where I need to fill, or if there's any bits I've missed. Like there's a little bit there where there's a gap I've missed, just so I know where I need to come back and weld. So what I'm going to do is finish this off tomorrow. I'm going to finish grinding it, fill up all the little gaps, and then I'll do the spot welds and try and weld that edge along there as well. So I've come back today to finish welding in my floor repair that I've been making. So I've finished welding along that edge all the way up there and along that inside edge as well. All just needs grinding back and blending together, and that should all be fine. I'm quite happy with the way that they've all come out. So what I've got to do now is the spot welds all along this edge. I need to bend that bit back over, and there's a couple of spot welds on there, and then on the outer sill as well there's a couple of spot welds that I want to do, just so I know it's all welded together. So I've welded the majority of the spot welds down this back edge now, apart from this lower corner. I need to make a little patch to go in there to fix that. But I'm really happy with the way all my spot welds have gone, and all these welds welding up along this edge. There's a few little blowout places where I had to just plug it with some weld, and I've got these little holes from where I bolted it to my form tool from forming these strengthening channel pieces. So I've got some little circles that I've saved from my hole punch for like doing spot welds and stuff, so I'm going to try and put those in there and just sort of give it a little weld to seal those holes up. But I'm really happy with the way that this panel came out. I know it's not perfect, but it's pretty close to what I wanted. So it's all welded in now. Just needs a final little bit of grinding and blending to blend it in. But once it's all painted, I'll put before paint I'll put like seam sealer in all these joints, so I know it's all sealed up, and then once it's painted you won't even see it. So I'm really happy with the way that's gone. So next weekend I've got to move back onto the outer sill for this side and try and figure out what I'm going to do for that. So I'm going to be leaving this video here for now. I'm hoping the progress I've made this weekend. I've got my little panel I've made welded in mostly, apart from one little corner which I need to make a repair patch for. So then next weekend I'm going to move on to the driver's side outer sill, because that's not fitting up properly, so I need to figure out what I need to do to make that fit properly. And then I've got a few other little jobs which I need to finish before the floor is then completely done, and I don't have to worry about it anymore. I can move on to some other jobs. So thanks for watching this video.